The English term Maoism was coined in 1951 to describe the pragmatic strategy of revolution by Mao Zedong, which adapted elements of Marxism-Leninism to a mobilized peasant mass base. Maoism is a variety of Marxism-Leninism that adapted to the agricultural, pre-industrial society of China. Mao had several stages to the development of his thought. In the initial stage from 1920 to 1926, the Chinese Communist Party was founded. During this time, Mao believed that capitalists would not repent voluntarily and turn towards communism on their own. He argued that the rulers must be overthrown by the people and that there was already discontent and a demand for communism. In what could be considered his formative stage from 1927 to 1935, Mao avoided all theoretical implications and minimized his Marxist theories. During his most mature state of thought from 1935 to 1940, Mao began to separate from the Soviet model of communist development, since it was not easily applicable to China. He felt that China had a unique set of historical circumstances that demanded a unique application of Marxist theory. During the Chinese Civil War from 1940 to 1949, Mao focused more on revolutionary practice and paid less attention to Marxist theory. The only new emphasis was his concern with two types of deviation: dogmatism, or the excessive reliance upon abstract theory, and empiricism, or excessive dependence on experience. With the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949, Mao's thought entered another stage of development. The victory was a confirmation for him of both the theory and practice of his thought. In the 1950s, Mao first theorized his view of continuous revolution. The final stage of development of Mao's thought came during the period of the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution, formerly known as the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution, was initiated by Mao in 1966 and lasted until his death in 1976. Rooted in Marxism-Leninism, the thought behind the Cultural Revolution was that proletariat revolution and dictatorship did not eradicate bourgeois ideology. A constant struggle against bourgeois ideology and traditional cultural values had to be prosecuted to create and maintain a society in which socialism could succeed. Mao claimed revisionist forces had entered society and infiltrated the government, with the goal of reinstating traditionalism and capitalism in China. Mao called for his followers to speak openly and critically about revisionist forces that they were observing in society and to expel them. This encouragement led to a decade in which landlords, rich peasants, and the alleged bourgeois academics were criticized and denounced. In more extreme examples, there were imprisonments, beatings, tortures, and executions for perceived crimes. The major components of Maoist doctrine were: 1. New democracy. This thesis held that for most people, the long road to socialism could only be opened by a national, popular, democratic, anti-feudal, and anti-imperialist revolution run by the communists. 2. People's War. Maoism emphasizes the revolutionary struggle of the vast majority of people against the exploiting classes and their state structures. 3. Mass line. Building on the theory of the vanguard party. The theory of the mass line is a strategy for the revolutionary leadership of the masses, consolidation of the dictatorship of the proletariat, and strengthening of the party, and the building of socialism. 4. Contradiction. The unity of the opposites is conditional, temporary, and transitory, and hence relative, whereas the struggle of opposites is absolute. 5. Three worlds theory. During the Cold War, the imperialist states, United States and Soviet Union, formed the First World. The Second World consisted of the other imperialist states and their spheres of influence. The Third World consisted of non-imperialist countries. 6. Agrarian socialism. Maoism departed from Marxism in that it focused on the agrarian countryside rather than the urban industrial forces. 7. Populism. Mao believed strongly in the concept of a unified people. He believed that intellectuals and party cadres would first become students of the masses and later teachers of the masses. Regardless of the thought behind Maoism, the practice followed the path of pragmatism of so many communist movements. Revolutionaries had to maintain the revolution in order to maintain their relevance and power. The state became authoritarian, enforcing society to follow socialist principles. The communist state resorted to violence and a cult of personality to force and enforce its power and the vision of socialism.